Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Draft and Die, where even the best can fall in the final scenario. We are here at the end. Undimensioned and Unseen was over. We are now lost in time and space, having climbed Sentinel Hill and kicked Seth Bishop squarely in the teeth. We are now ready to rock and roll, and we are going to be going into the space beyond spaces, the timeless void. So, with that in mind, I think we're going to just jump right into it. We got our decks built right here. I fixed some issues with it. I don't know for sure if we forgot our weaknesses last time around. I think I did record a bunch in order, so they probably actually were kept. But I remembered to put in the Panic and the Fearless in the actual deck themselves, and these are the final versions of the deck. So if you're interested, I'm sure I'll put a link in, and if they're not, these are the numbers at least. So you can check those up. I should put those in the description though. We have 25 experience each between these two characters. We are ready to rock and roll, and they are entirely drafted decks with entirely drafted upgrades in hard mode, trying to beat the very last scenario in the game. All right, lost in time and space. Passing through the gate is unlike anything you've ever experienced. You feel your body twisting and distorting, churning through realities as the gate pulls you to its ultimate destination, a place beyond the scope of human imagination. Suddenly all is quiet, and the chaos of the journey is replaced with a sense of solitude and dread. You are in an unfathomable place, vast beyond your ability to reason, and utterly alien besides. The landscape is surreal and strange, the architecture impossible. You are so far from home that home has become a threadbare dream you can barely recall. Even should you find a way out of this awful place, you may never be the same again. Cool. So we have our cards set aside. Edge of the Universe, Chair Through Time, and Yog-Sothoth. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter cards to build the encounter deck, and make sure that we eliminate Agenda 3A with... Okay, good to go. Just great. Everything's solid. Cool. So, with that in mind, locations in the encounter deck. This scenario can include single-sided locations that are shuffled in the encounter deck along with the rest of the gathered encounter sets. These locations only have a revealed side and have a revelation effect that puts them into play when drawn. When put into play, a single-sided location is put into play with its revealed side face up because it has no unrevealed side. Otherwise, it is a normal location in every other way. Cool. All right, so... Oh, might be a good time to check our achievement list real quick. Did we defeat the experiment using the alchemical concoction? No, because Rex technically didn't actually do that. He died, and Nathaniel had to do the cleanup. Complete the Miskatonic Museum? Nope. Burn the Necronomicon? Nope. Complete the Essex County Express without letting any helpless passengers leave play? I believe we did succeed at that one, so that's one to note. Unfortunately, did not get everybody. We missed one of them. Warren Rice died, but we got the other four. No Prude left behind. Definitely not. 5 Broods left behind. Seth Bishop is, I mean, technically Naomi O'Benny is under our control, but we still have the opportunity to find that. Didn't identify the strange solution. Took damage from the Beyond the Veil, but died horribly. We did, in fact, I think we have had Armitage, Morgan, and Rice in play. Oh, no, Rice is dead, so not so much. Beat 3 Whippoorwills in a single turn? No. Win the Dunwich Legacy campaign as Ashcan Pete with Duke listed under Sacrifice to Yog-Sothoth. That's a really interesting achievement run. Tabula Rasa, Dunwich Legacy with no bad things. That is a doable thing, but we do, I believe, still have a heart token. Ultimatums, that's going to be interesting. Maybe. And Expertise, not yet, but you never know. This might eventually turn into an expert mode campaign. Isn't it called Nightmare, not Expert? No, it is called Expert. I always thought it was called Nightmare. I don't know why, but it is the Nightmare. So, okay, Act Decks. What's going on with these? Whoa, the ritual was completed. Nope, no thanks. This one. This is a weird deck. Hi, cool. Default Act Deck. Yeah, they definitely didn't finish the ritual. Okay, so pathways of sound and color extend for an eternity in all directions, dotted with impossible architecture and overgrown with alien wildlife. The lines between objects are jagged and shifting, and your skin feels as if it were inside out. After you are moved to a location by an encounter card effect, you take a horror. That's going to be a bad one. Somehow you just find your way across this alien landscape in order to find the nexus that was described in old Whately's tome. As an action, we can discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, choose a location discarded by this effect, and resolve its revelation ability. And once we find 4 clues, we get to advance, which should be a delight. Okay, with that in mind, I think we are good to go. We are at another dimension. We gape in disbelief at the swirling colors and alien angles surrounding you. This is true madness. When a location leaves play, you move each investigator and unengaged enemy at that location to another dimension. Can't be cancelled. That'll also cause a state of horror, but actually, I think we'll instead go to this location, which is, yeah, Realms Beyond. So you have to test will to get out of here. And yep, if you get moved here, it's just bad. It's just really, really bad. You are now just in a place with Yog-Sothoth. Man, that makes this so much harder. I am really worried about this. This is I mean, we will die if we don't win this one, and that is a defeat. So, here's hoping our decks are up to snuff. It's gonna be a wild one. Okay, cool. So I think everything's shuffled, everything's good to go. I was supposed to deal cards before I did everything else, but that's fine. Is it Morgan who died? Who was sacrificed to Yog-Sothoth? I didn't put it in the thing. I'm sure somebody died. Oh, I think it was Earl. All right. Regardless, yeah. So, huh. Yeah, that's interesting. Nathaniel, do you have Warren Rice? I think we have Armitage. Francis Morgan. Zebulon Whately's probably in here too. So it must have been Earl. Huh. All right. I'm remembering incorrectly, but yeah, there's Zebulon Whately. So definitely did set that up right. All right. Oop, wrong way to go. That's fine though. All right. So starting with Mr. Rex Murphy here. We have Search for the Truth, which is a reasonable way to draw a bunch of cards. We have Professor Warren Rice, which is an excellent way to draw a bunch of cards. We have Preposterous Sketch, which draws a bunch of cards. We have Leather Jacket, which soaks damage, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Burning the Midnight Oil is definitely good here. Preposterous Sketches is cheap and easy. Yeah, that should be a very good one, actually. I think considering how many good card draw options we have, we are just going to be able to pull a bunch of cards that we need. I think we toss Leather Jacket back and we keep on resources and try and get what we need from that. Forbidden Knowledge, okay, that is resources, so that'll work. Okay, Nathaniel, you already had Boxing Gloves level 2 in your opening hand. That's a great starter. That means we don't need Randall this early. Stand Together is amazing early. Monster Slayer X2 is also amazing early. The only thing we want is Greet Wagner. And could we go without Greet Wagner? I mean, with Boxing Gloves, absolutely. But it would be better if we could maybe get... In fact, with Boxing Gloves, it might be better if we could actually get... Yeah, we can run off one Spirit, and then we can try and draw the remaining two. I also did that thing again where I'm supposed to change color here. It's okay, we'll remember how to play. It's a thing that happens. Emergency Cash, and clean them out. Okay, well, economy going strong early combined with our power cards early feels like a very good time. So let's go ahead and see how that goes. With that, we're in the investigation phase of the first round of the final act. We have 4 Doom to Advance. What kind of symbols we got in here? The Beyond is in here. Lots of agents, lots of other bad things, but no ancient evils, notably. And I don't think there's any resurgent evils either. Anything special here? Fancy stuff, but I think we're largely okay. Okay. Good to know. So I think our starter is probably play Warren Rice. Yeah, that feels very reasonable. He's a great ally that soaks a bunch of stuff for us. And then from here, we can either play Forbidden Knowledge and just have that for later. It doesn't seem like a bad idea. I could even put some horror on it at the moment and get a resource down. Let's try... Actually, instead of playing Warren Rice, what's Nathaniel doing? He's standing together, he's playing Emergency Cash, and he's playing Boxing Gloves. So, pretty straightforward. And what does our hard expert thing look like? -1 for each extra-dimensional token. Reveal another token. After the skill test, you discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until the location is discarded. Put that location into play and move there. -5, if Yog-Sothoth is in play, it attacks you after this skill test. And -X, where X is twice the shroud value of your location. If you fail and your location is extra dimensional, you discard. Okay, so that's mostly okay. We're in the other world right now, so our shroud value is extremely hard. But I think by and large we have everything we need. So Rex is going to play Ward Race. Then I think he's going to pick at the encounter deck a little bit. So action, discard the top 3 cards. 1, 2, Endless Bridge. That is a location. And 3, Infinite Doorway. Oh, Infinite Doorway, really? Huh. That's interesting. Okay, we'll put the Endless Bridge into play. And we will lose 2 resources. That's a little rough, but not the end of the world. What is the Endless Bridge? After an investigator leaves it, either place a doom on it or discard it. Cool. Well, that'll be Rex's whole deal here. I think we want to stay put for now, so let's play Forbidden Knowledge. Let's gain a resource, put a horror on Warren Rice. And that's our 3 actions. Move, get the thing, do the thing. All right, Nathaniel, you got a pretty simple one going on. Boxing gloves. 1, 2. Stand together. And finally, emergency cash. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, we are good to go. So we go from investigation to enemy phase. There is 1 enemy, it's Yogg-Sothoth, but while it has Hunter, it certainly can't connect to us or do anything weird. How do we get out of Realms Beyond, out of curiosity? It's an additional cost for you to leave Realms Beyond. Okay, so it's connected to a circle, which is, oh, another dimension. But Yogg-Sothoth can't leave it. Okay, so you... Oh, man, that still sucks. Okay. Really, really rough. Regardless, enemy phase, nothing happens. Upkeep, resource and a card. Flashlight, resource and a card. And speak below with cowardice. Guess what? We're going to be a coward, I think, the entire game. That is just a thing that happens. Okay. Cool. So with that, we go into Mythos. The Doom goes up to 1. Not really loving how little we've got accomplished so far. And encounter cards are dealt, starting with the lead investigator, which is Nathaniel, I believe. So here we go. Double check that. Yeah, Nathaniel's the lead. We can change it around, but... Steps of Yagar, roll. Okay, put it into play, then draw the topmost Madness card in your discard pile. When you would leave this place, test 2 will. If you fail, shuffle it into your encounter deck instead of moving to your original destination. This is a notable one, I think, because it's connected to something important. It is not a hard investigate for us, but it is something we will definitely want to get to, I think, pretty quickly. What is this connected to? Okay, so we also are going to have to like really mind our connections here, because this one is just a lot of connections with a lot of different things. That was Nathaniel's draw. I think Rex is still yet to draw an encounter. These are set aside. Okay, counter for Rex. Tear through space. Surge, put tear through space into play. At the end of the round, either place a doom on tear through space or discard it. Good to know. This location is connected to another dimension, notably. Neither of them go to the plus sign. Okay, so we still can't get to the steps, but we can come to the tear through space and then investigate it, and then like leave, which is going to be really, really good for Rex in particular. Okay, cool. So Rex, I think, is our starter as we enter the investigation phase. Rex is going to move to the tear through space for sure. Then we're going to investigate that tear through space, which is burning the Midnight Oil. 6 to go, currently 5 against 1. It isn't the stone best. Search for the Truth could get us a bunch of cards here that we're probably going to want later. So I'm rather inclined to just go ahead and take the 5 against 1. Let's do it. -1 succeeds by 2 or more. We draw a card off Professor Warren Rice. Burning the Midnight Oil. Beautiful. And then we pick up both clues off this location. Oh, there's only 1 clue on this location. Huh. Okay. My bad. I thought there was more. Okay, well that was a free clue regardless, and this will either get a doom or get discarded. So let's move to the Endless Bridge as our second option, or our third action, and feel a little bad about our life choices. I think we actually did want to do some other things there, but that's fine. Nathaniel, hi. You are going to probably move to this location as well. Ah, I see what's going on. Yeah, and then Nathaniel has the boxing gloves, so, do we want to go fishing for more locations, or we want to do some, like, card draw action, set up a little bit better? I feel like fishing for more locations for Rex is very useful, but we also have quite a bit of what we need out already. We'll try it. 1, 2, 3. Endless Bridge. And that costs Nathaniel 2 resources, but overall, a pretty decent action. It's connected to the squares. It's not connected to itself, notably. Okay. Well, that's interesting, because we can't get back to another dimension unless Endless Bridge leaves play, which we are generally going to want to happen most of the time. Fascinating. We could always get to it through... We could get to it through the Tear Through Space if we spent the Doom on it. That seems like a pretty meh way to go, though, since these two are connected. All right, things are weird, things are great. That is Nathaniel's turn. Rex is moved as well, so we go to the enemy phase. Nothing happens. Upkeep, resource and a card. Dr. Henry Armitage, giving us a ton of resources for Nathaniel Cho. Unexpected courage for Mr. Rex Murphy here. Looks great. Okay. Mythos phase, the Doom goes to 2. Counter cards are dealt. Prismatic Cascade. Put into play and discard a random card from your hand. Unspeakable with Cowardice. Clean them out. Okay, that's fine. And you. Yithian Starseeker spawns in another dimension. When it attacks an investigator with more than 10 cards in his or her discard pile, you place a Doom on it. Interesting. Okay, so this is put into play. It connects to the squares and to the pluses. This is the plus, so that's definitely a thing. And it's technically connected to Tear Through Space, but at the end of the round, we chose to discard that because I didn't put a Doom on it. So, okay, Prismatic Cascade is also connected to another dimension. Not that we can get to it through there, so that's exciting. But I think the main thing is just like this two-way connection here is very good. Square and the plus are connected, and this is connected to the triangle. Yep. After the last clue on its cascade is removed, you discard it. So you don't want to take all the clues off that one in particular. But yeah, that's it. Okay, so investigation phase. Nathaniel, you're doing flip cards because we need Rex to be able to move to new locations here. So another flip. 1, ooh, vassal. 2, ooh, conglomeration. 3, Tear Through Space. Sweet. That's really good because that is, I think, our link to other locations, correct? So this is connected this way, same as before. And it also connects to the diamond down here, which... that's going to be difficult to figure out a way to appropriately represent, but regardless, I think we're pretty happy with that. If I discard Tear Through Space, then I would move to not another dimension, but instead to the Realms Beyond, which is something we really do not want to do. So it would be better to go to the Prismatic Cascade and then try and take that to the steps of Yurgle. I don't like leaving so many locations in play. I think that in particular is just like really, really rough, but that's sort of where we're at right now. So let's go ahead and move Rex 1. Wait, no. Nathaniel's already... First action was to do that. I think Nathaniel's second and third action will be to move to the Prismatic Cascade, because that connects to here. So, fun stuff, fun stuff. Trying to keep track of which thing connects to which thing is going to be a pretty consistent issue here, but that one's pointing sort of down there. 30 degrees? Yeah, there we go. We know it goes there. All right, so Nathaniel gets to go there, and Rex, I think, is going to move, pick up this clue. We are 4, 5 against 1. I don't really want to succeed by a huge amount, so I think we're fine with that. Auto fail. All right, screw it. Go to the Prismatic Cascade. Enemy phase. This thing doesn't move. Upkeep. Resource and a card. Resource and a card. Haunted. That's a really annoying one. End of round. Tear through space. Gets discarded. I don't want it. We've gotten enough value out of that card for the moment, so we'll just stick with that. Okay. We are at a Prismatic Cascade, so if we get these 2 clues and then we go to the steps, I think we're going to be in a decent bit of shape. Mythos phase. Doom goes to 3. Yeah, not amazing progress so far, but we're working on it. Interstellar Traveler spawns at any extra dimensional location. Interstellar Travel enters a location. Flip a clue to its Doom side. Place it on Interstellar Traveler, or place 1 Doom on Interstellar Traveler if there are no clues on that location. I think we want it at the steps, because Nathaniel wants to kill this thing. It's got Hunter. And it's got a Doom on it, which actually doesn't matter. If it has Hunter and has a Doom on it, we could put it like on an endless bridge or something. And how would it find its way to us? It wouldn't. Oh, after we leave the endless bridge, we are supposed to place a Doom on it or discard it. I will discard it. Goodbye. We never went to this endless bridge, however, and it is connected to the square and the squiggly, neither of which are currently in play. There's a 3 health monster that's kind of like not super in our space at the moment. It deals a lot of horror damage, which I think is particularly bad, but I'm kind of inclined to just do this. Did we lose 2 resources for every endless bridge we put into play? I think so. Did we discard a card at random? Yes, we did for Prismatic Cascade. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we'll just throw that down on the endless bridge for now. It sucks a little bit because it gets a clue and that turns it to the Doom side, but now that card will lose the Doom because we're going to advance the Mythos next turn anyways. So, investigation. Rex, you are definitely going to be investigating here. I think we start with a perception investigate against this particular area. Burning the Midnight Oil, why not? And perception. So you are currently 4, 5, 6 against 2. We really want this to succeed by 2 or more. So ideally we just Unexpected Courage as well. I don't know, like 6 against 2 is really not bad. Oh, you're actually 7 against 2. So you beat this by 5 already. Unexpected Courage will definitely throw it all the way up, but... yeah, let's do it. 6. Yeah, I think that's fine. 7 against 2. Skill is a -1 for each extra dimensional location. That's a -3. So we are 4 against 2. That is successful by 2 or more. Draw a card off Perception. Draw a card off Warren and Rice. Get both clues on this location, but not the last one, notably. And leave this location for the steps of your Hagaro. So that's action 2, is to move. Nathaniel can't come with you because Nathaniel doesn't have Safeguard yet. Action 3, I was going to use Preposterous Sketches, but I actually think it's even better to just throw down Dr. Milan Christopher. We have Perception, so that's 6 now, and we get resources when we investigate 2, which is great. Cool. So that's Nathaniel's turn. Or that's Rex's turn. Nathaniel... I think Nathaniel hasn't gone yet. Nathaniel wants a Horror Soak, so Henry Armitage would be a good idea here. And then moving is definitely a good idea here. Beyond that, I think we... Oh, even better. Why don't we move and discard Wanted? I like that even more. Yeah, that seems great. Enemy phase. Interstellar Traveler. Can it go anywhere? Squares and squigglies. Nope. Yithian Starseekers, where it's at. Steps of Hargirl are very scary because they're a big will test for both these characters, but we'll deal with it. Upkeep. Resource and a card each. Hyper Awareness. 1-2 punch the lower one. Okay, cool. Mythos. The Doom advances. Let's see. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, then discard cards from the top until a location is discarded. The lead investigator resolves that location's revelation effect. If the investigators failed to save the students, you read the following. We did actually save the students, because we killed what's-his-butt. The experiment. Cool. So, as you cross this realm, actually, first things first, locations. That's Nathaniel's Haunted needs to come out. Into the discard pile with you, Nathaniel's Haunted. How are we doing on discard piles? 4 and 3. Not too bad. Okay. Shuffle up. 1. 2. Tear through space. This one's not bad, right? Doesn't have a revelation effect. It does have Surge, which I had forgotten. Have we put these in play through other means? I feel like we maybe... I can't remember if we got it. I might have to draw another encounter card here. If I draw... that'll really mess with the flow because we're quite a ways away. I guess Nathaniel drew the Tear Through Space that got discarded a while ago. Oh boy. Okay. Let's have Nathaniel draw an encounter card, and if it's like a monster or something, it'll just be... Yeah. Beyond the Veil. Okay, cool. That works. It's got Surge, though. God damn. Okay, so I guess I should draw another one? Infinite Doorway, and that would be attached to the Prismatic Cascade. So Nathaniel would have to discard a card, and if it's a weakness, draw it. Zebulon Whately. Okay. Cool. All right. I think that resolves the one Surge card that we drew off of the encounter deck. The other one we drew off of location reveals, so that part's fine. As you cross this realm, you catch occasional glimpses of reality, scenes from old memories, more recent visions from the past few days, and sometimes even events that you do not remember ever happening. After you're moved to a location by an encounter card effect, take a horror, and we've got another 4 Doom threshold here. We remove all Doom from all cards in play. So in Interstellar Traveler, the Doom is at 5, actually. And 0. Cool. Okay, that leads us to encounters. Tear Through Space does have Surge. Yep. This one got discarded because we... Oh wait, no, this is one we put into play recently. Fair enough. And encounter again. Haunting Recollections. For each card in your hand, if there's a copy of that card in your discard pile. Gonna guess no, because... Oh wait, no, Monster Slayer maybe? Nope. Otherwise, does this card gain Surge again? Nope, you discard the top 3 cards of your deck. 1, 2, 3. That's bad, but it's not the end of the world. Rex. Conglomeration of Spears. Spawns on Rex because prey doesn't matter for the purposes of who draws the card. So it's just a 1/6 on Rex, which is super annoying, but something that Nathaniel can probably deal with. Okay. Cool. We still need one more clue before we can advance the act. The conglomeration is sticky, but it doesn't eat boxing gloves because while that is a melee weapon, we don't use that to attack. It just gives us a bonus to attacking, which is good. Okay, but definitely a really annoying one to get. Cool. So yeah, from there, investigation phase. Nathaniel starts with a 1/2 punch. This is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8 against 1. +1 for this attack, and we'll deal 2, then 2 again, and then Monster Slayer will finish it. Okay, so 8 against 1. Still is a bad one at this point because there's 5 locations in play, but still good. So 2 damage to that thing. Fight again. This time we're at, I think, 9 against 1. -5 succeeds. And for our last action, we fight with or for our second action, we fight with Monster Slayer. Unless we want to just punch it. That could be our entire turn. We wouldn't lose Monster Slayer. We would risk potentially not killing it, but Rex can, like, maybe finish it off. And it would potentially, like, buy us a card that we want. I'm inclined to do that. Sure. So 5, 6, 7 against 1. That's action 2. A Bless succeeds. We return 1/2 punch. Unless there's a better one. Mono a mono. Oh, did I pay for 1/2 punch? Probably not. Mono a mono is also very good. Yeah, no, I think we're okay. Cool. Stand together is cool too. Is it any event? Yeah, no, I think that's fine. Okay, and then 7 against 1. -2 succeeds. Conglomeration takes both of those hits and dies. Good job, Nathaniel. Much better than having it. That's revenge for that time when we got the 2 Conglomeration of Spears and the other abominations stuck to us. Nice to just clear 1 like that easily. We defeated it, so we get to search top 9. I think I'm okay with that at this stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Counterpunch is really good. It's even the upgraded counterpunch. And stand together is fine, but we don't need it. I think we take the counterpunch here. Get over here is also very good. That can get us a lot of non-elites that are, like, kind of problematic right now, including Interstellar Traveler. Let's take the get over here. I like that a lot. We can play that at a fast speed during, like, any part of the phase, so yeah, that's perfect. Cool. Okay, Rex, hi. You need to get at least 1 clue, or else we aren't going to be able to continue. Let's play... Well, Hyper Awareness would be really good. Man, you got so many options here. So for starters, you're investigating 6 against 3 right now. So that's something. 7, 8 against 3 seems right. Super Preposterous Sketches first. Draw 3 cards. Okay. 7, 8 against 3. Could play a Hyper Awareness too. Now let's just do 7, 8 against 3. I like it. 8 against 3. Perception makes it 9 against 3, which is nice, but, you know, I'm pretty happy with this. Oh, there's a -6. I didn't even know that. Okay, so I still have one action left. Let's do a 9 against 3. -5, so we go down to 4 against 3. Succeed, draw a card, get a clue. But we don't get both clues, notably. A little annoying, but not the end of the world. Christopher gains us a resource, and Warren draws us a card. I don't think we want to draw over our limit here unless we're really trying to get through the deck without getting the beyond. Yeah, we fished our limit here. Oh, wait, no. Leather jacket. It's fast. So yeah, we can definitely do the Warren Rice draw. Reckless. Annoying. Okay, so with that, that was all 3 of our actions, but we can advance the act. Let's go ahead and wait until the start of the next round. Enemy phase. No enemies. Upkeep. Wait, unless this thing's connected to the squares, which are connected to the triangles, which are connected to the steps of Yahargo. Is that right? That looks right. So this thing moves here. Yep. Then we go to upkeep, resource and a card. Resource and a card. Cool. Did I shuffle? I'm not 100% certain. I think I should actually, yeah. I think I should shuffle before I draw, just to be sure. Okay, cool. Just to be sure we aren't violating anything rule-wise. Brother Xavier's not as good, but it should be helpful anyways. It's nice to have something to soak horror, which is good. Okay, that's upkeep. We have to discard a card. It can't be reckless. Emergency cash is fine. Actually, no, we don't. Never mind. We're at 8. Mythos. Doom goes to 1. Encounter cards are dealt. Tear through space. Oh, wait. End of the round, these 3 tear through spaces are all discarded, which I believe that forces that thing into the main area. I could put a Doom on its location, and that would keep it from coming at us for a bit longer. Yeah, but that location's connected to a lot of stuff. Triangles. You know. Yeah, sure. Let's discard these 2, and we'll just put a Doom on this tear through space, which has, I think, 1 clue on it. Okay. Discard pile with you. Discard pile with you. Discard pile with you. Discard pile with you. I don't know if those were supposed to be shuffled in. I think I might have missed on some. We could shuffle everything but the tear through spaces in. Yeah, I think all of these. Those definitely get discarded. And the endless bridges stay. Oh boy. Alright, life is a mess. Hang on a sec. Tear through space. Yeah, the one endless bridge does stay. Cool. So, cool. Okay, that should be fine. 1 tear through space remains. The endless bridge stays. And yeah, beyond that, we are good to go. Oy. Yeah, this one is a particular nightmare for Tabletop Simulator, which is okay. We got it all mostly figured out here. Cool. So this thing moves there. I put a Doom on that location, and I'll just discard that location next turn. Okay. After this enemy moves off of it, that way it doesn't move faster. Investigation phase. Stuff is weird. Start of the round, advance the act. A light shimmers in the distance, and you head towards it to investigate. The wispy light drifts away from you, floating through the realm's strange gateways, ascending looping staircases, and crossing through barriers you dared not cross earlier. With little chance of finding the nexus on your own, you follow the light, hoping it is guiding you in the right direction. Put the set-aside edge of the universe into play. You must have at least 2 clues in order to move to it, and we spent all of our clues already. It connects to the plus and to the... Ooh, the 2 clues is definitely an issue, but it connects to the plus and to one other thing. Okay. Whereas this only connects to the prismatic cascade. All right. So we're in kind of an irritating situation at the moment. That's fine. Uh, cool. Well, Brother Xavier's kind of helpful here. Rex has simple investigate 6 against 3 at the moment. Spent 4 clues, so we can't use Rex's thingy. Playing the flashlight would be fine. Playing the hyper awareness would be good. But really, the thing we most want to do is just keep investigating. As many locations as we can, as fast as we can. The steps really only connect to prismatic cascades, so if we get more of those, that would be good. But I've got to decide if Nathaniel's going to be hunting monsters actively or trying to stay where he's at. I think Brother Xavier's fine. That's the will bonus to help us with that will test in particular. So that's something. We have a bunch of weird enemies to deal with, but Nathaniel's turn here, I think, is flip 3. 1. Indecipherable stairs. Put into play and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Oh, that's bad. 1, 2, 3. It's a triangle, so it connects to another dimension specifically, and to that tear through space. Also connects to the square, which is not in play. Yeah, okay. So that connects here, and we should like move this one to, I think, be a little more sensical. You're connected here. And here. That kind of works. Everything's just sort of a mess. Okay, that's fine. We'll deal with it. I can't investigate the prismatic cascade right now, so let's do. Was that 3 that we flipped? I don't think so. I think we only flipped 1 of the 2. Okay, and then flip another 3. 1. Endless bridge. Endless bridge it is. I don't really like putting the endless bridges into play. I have to choose, right? Yeah, so Nathaniel loses 2 resources. Annoying, but fine. And that puts another endless bridge into play, which is connected to the squares. And also to all the other things. All right, this is chaos. Everything is bad. There's way too many locations in play. Indecipherable stairs at least have a clue on them. If you leave them, you must either take 2 horror or discard the stairs. Do those connect to anything useful? They're a triangle. They connect to the 2 slashes, which is not a thing that I know about. And, oh, they're just super rough. Yeah, okay. Well, that's Nathaniel's turn. Rex, hi. First things first, I think we investigate 6 against 3 without committing anything. I want a hyper awareness. Just do this right. I lost 2 resources. 6, 7, 8 against 3. Negative 2 succeeds. Succeeds by 2 or more, but we get this at the very least. And gain a resource, draw a card. Rex's Curse. Cool. Okay, that's fine. I think Rex's next 2 actions are probably to play stuff too. Wait, we played Hyper Awareness. That's action 1. Action 2 is Investigate. Action 3 could be Painkillers, but I feel like Horror is probably the big concern here. We only have 1 clue. Yeah, Rex is going to flip. 1. Stable Vortex. Oh, you discard a copy of Terror Through Space Fable. Cool. Conglomeration of spears. Collapsing reality. Okay, so unstable vortex is what we want. It's connected to a whole bunch of random junk. The end of turn, if you're at the unstable vortex, you must either draw the top card of the encounter deck, or shuffle it into the encounter deck. Okay, so where the heck is this in reference to everything? So this is just, maybe we should take a second to reorganize everything. Yep, one moment. Okay, yeah, I believe this is basically how it goes. We've got the another dimension, which has the Interstellar Traveler and the Ythian Starseeker on it. The tear through space is gone. The unstable another dimension connects to everything, but nothing connects to it, notably. And trying to get to the place that I really want to be is just going to be very hard because we have so few clues in so few locations. I need 2 clues to get to the edge of the universe, and I'm currently stuck on these steps. I can dismantle the steps to sort of like cause some things to happen, but that runs some risks because we have interstellar travelers and other things waiting for us at the location that we are actually trying to go to. So it's a pile, and we are now done with investigation since we drew the things. So yeah, I think we will just go ahead and go into the enemy phase. Okay, so this thing, the interstellar traveler, moves towards us to the prismatic cascade, which is totally fine. Upkeep, we gain a resource and a card. Resource and a card. Cool, vicious blow. Mythos, Doom goes to 2, and encounters are dealt. Why is that in my... I had 2 tear through spaces in play. This one would be discarded at the end of round, so okay, that's fine. Eldritch Accord. Okay, so this is Nathaniel's. Draw a card, choose and discard up to 2 cards from your hand. Test X will. If you fail, take 2 horror. X equals the number of cards in your hand when the test begins. Oof. Okay, so you may draw a card, or you can just discard 2 cards. Unspeakable Oath is going to count towards that issue. You're at 4. You can take 2 horror pretty easily. Sure, draw a card. I love it. And then we will test 4 against 7, unless there's anything that we really, really want. Nope, I'm good. 0 fails, put 2 damage on Brother Xavier. Okay. Nathaniel, hi. Collapsing reality. If you're at an extra dimensional location, discard it and take a damage. Otherwise, take 2 damage. I'm at an extra dimensional location, correct? Ooh. Okay. The steps, which are like the thing that we need to advance, go away. Nathaniel and Rex both get shunted to the center location, which only has 1 monster on it, fortunately. And also, I think the Traveler can't get here because it's not connected in the same ways. So this might be okay. This might work out for us. But we take a damage. And that goes on Professor Warren Rice. We also take a horror. That also goes on Professor Warren Rice, who I think has 2. Let's put 1 on Christopher this time. And you take a horror, which I think you just have to take it here, unless you want to take it to Brother Xavier. You take the horror after you move, is that correct? After you move. I mean, if we kill Brother Xavier right here, we get to play Greet, which is totally great. And then we also get to just punch this thing in the face a bunch. It doesn't have a prey, so it can jump on whoever it likes. I think Nathaniel's just going to kill it regardless, so it's not a huge deal whichever way we go. Let's just kill Brother Xavier. That seems right. Yeah, I like it. And that deals 2 damage to the Ythian Starseeker. The encounters are kind of working in our favor here. This actually puts us back to where we started, which is what we needed to get the clues to get elsewhere. and like we really want to just go grab some clues, basically. Um, Indecipherable stairs lead to the unstable vortex, which leads back to the edge of the universe, notably. So we could go stairs, vortex, universe, and that seems totally fine. Rex would have to take 2 horror, which is a bit of an issue, but Rex has currently got quite a bit to go, so I think that's okay. And we might need like a lot of clues, but I'm inclined to say that that's gonna connect up pretty well. Okay, so that was our Eldritch Accord and our Collapsing Reality. Neither of those had Surge. So with that, we go into investigation phase. Nathaniel. Punch 5, 6, 7 against 2. Is that correct? Or 7 against 3 right now. Vicious Blow makes it 8 against 3. There is a -6, and there are 6 extra dimensional locations in play. Monster Slayer's fine. 1-2 Punch is fine. I like this 8 against 3 plan. Let's do it. Whack him. Skill is the bad one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -1. Okay, cool. Well, that sucks. I still want you to have will icons in general. I think we'll Monster Slayer 7 against 3. Less succeeds, we get something back. Stand together is good. We do need resources. Monster Slayer is pretty good. I might go for the stand together. I think resources would be really strong here. Okay, so that clonks that thing on the head. The indecipherable stairs connect to the prismatic cascade in any way? Nope. Yithian Starseeker dies. The victory? Nope. Oh, shoot. This thing is meandering around flipping clues. I didn't realize that. Well, this is the first time that it's flipped a clue to its doom side. Oh, but that really changes how we approach things. Well, the cool news is it's on our location because it killed the prismatic cascade. I didn't realize it was when it enters a location. I thought it was when it spawned at the location. Yeah, so we both spawned in that location. Nathaniel still has 1 action left and hasn't used his event ability, so this should be totally fine. Last action, 1-2 punch. This is +1 for the attack, so it's 8 against whatever this thing's number is. 4. We really need that to succeed. There's no clue on our location, so I can't use Inquiring Mind. Search for the Truth is just 1 question mark. Disc of its Somna would be nice here. So I'm currently 8 against 4, 9, 10 against 4. I really would prefer to save that, but yeah, it is what it is. 9, 10 against 4. We really need this to work, so. That's a bad one, but it's not the worst one, I don't think. X is twice. Again. Oof. Yeah, it's a -12. So that does not work, and we don't get to attack twice. Which means this thing is actually just on us. All right, Rex, I think you've got a plan, right? You have a clue. You can deal 2 damage to it? Oh, that's not good. You need more clues for that to be a thing. Nathaniel can take the hit. Oh, no, he can't, actually. It's like... Who is this engaged with? Anybody? It has to be Nathaniel, I think, because that's just who we'd automatically engage it with in pretty much any situation. I could move, get a clue. That doesn't do anything. I could engage it and take the hit. Before we do that, we should do other things, like maybe Flashlight, Disc of Insomnia. And then engage, so that Nathaniel doesn't take 2 horror. That seems right. Rex has got you, Nathaniel. It's fine. Okay, enemy phase. This thing whacks us. Deals 1 damage to Rex. Ouch. Rex's coat, actually. Huh. And 2 damage divided amongst Professor Warren Race and Rex. Cool. Well, that means it's not entering locations and stealing stuff. Did it ever go to an endless bridge? I don't know. Oh, no, it advances the doom threshold. Yeah, we would have focused on this one first if we'd realized that it was flipping clues in the first place, but also I still have Rex's Curse. I think I've remembered that, but it might be I missed it once. Upkeep. Resource and a card. Resource and a card. It is enemies as well, right? Investigator and unengaged enemy. Yep. Cool. Okay, well, that wasn't great, but, you know, it is what it is. Mythos. Doom goes to 3/4, which flips. Really annoying. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, then discard cards from the top until a location is discarded. Lead investigator resolves that location's revelation effect. Check the campaign log. At least 1 name is recorded under Sacrifice to Yog-Sothoth. Read the following. You hear a familiar voice calling out to you, and you enter an impossibly shaped building of cracked stone. No, don't, the voice cries. You rush forward towards the voice, down a set of steep, narrow stairs. Upon reaching the bottom, you find yourself in the hidden chamber from Dunwich. Bound by shackles, you see those you failed to save, bloodied and maimed. A creature with a man's face feeds from a corpse on the ground. The head of the corpse turns to face you, and a sharp pain stabs your heart. Each investigator takes his X will, which is 1 will. And for each point we fail by, we take a damage, which I think we can deal with. 3 against 3. I'm fine with that. Good. You are 3 against 3 as well, and you can commit to this, but I don't know that you should. No clue at your location. Damage would be bad. Painkillers would help. It's one of the things that painkillers is good for. Wit and green would help. I don't think I care as much about Witten right now. Yeah, throw Witten at it. 4. What is it against? 3? And we do fail, so Rex's Curse doesn't trigger at all. 4 against... 4 minus 6. I guess it's 3 damage. Oof. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's not ideal. Oof. Throughout this warp dimension, no matter where you travel, there's a haunting shape in the distance. At first, it appears as a disc, like a black moon with many wriggling arms, but as time passes, you can tell it is growing larger and larger. If you're moved to a location by an encounter card effect, take a horror. Okay, so Interstellar Traveler doesn't have any more Doom on it. It's all gone. But any Doom on this location or anything like that? Nope, we're okay. Encounters. Vast Expanse. Test X, where X is the number of extra-dimensional locations in play, maximum 5, so we have to test 5. 5 will. Rex can't really help. I guess you can throw painkillers at it. At each point we fail by, we take a horror, which can kill Nathaniel. Just straight up can do that. Get over here. I really wanted to save that for other things, but that's fine. So that's 3, 4, 5 against 5. Flesh Ward 6 against 5. Stand Together should stay in hand, but let's throw painkillers at it. 7 against 5. Success. Terrestrial space put into play. And we'll figure out those connections if we need them. Goes to the triangle, which goes to the... Yeah, we could grab a clue there and then grab the one off Indecipherable Stairs, potentially. But that's not how we do that. Close, though. Okay. That has search. Wormhole. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until that location is discarded. Resolve that location's revelation ability, then move to that location. Okay. One. We want a good one here. 2. Dimensional Doorway. Put into play. Draw the topmost hex in the encounter discard pile. Okay, so where does this connect to? It's one of these, right? Yeah, it's similar to this. That's where it is. If you're at the Dimensional Doorway, you must either spend 2 resources or shuffle Dimensional Doorway into the encounter deck. Cool. Well, Rex is here now. And then you also draw the topmost hex in the discard pile, which is Haunting Recollections. Do we have a copy of any of these cards in our discard pile? Emergency Cash? No. Inquiring Mind? No. I've Got a Plan? No. Search for the Truth? No. Discard the top 3 cards. What an insane, what a nonsense set of encounters everywhere. Okay, that's Mythos. Investigation phase begins. Rex is stranded in a dimensional doorway, but that's actually exactly where he wants to be for the most part. I think we start with Rex. Rex, you are investigating 6, 7, 8, 9 against 2. -4 succeeds by enough to grab both those clues. To draw a card from Warren Rice, and to gain a resource from Dr. Milan. Oh, Survival Instinct, cool. Action 2, let's go to the edge of the universe. We don't have to spend the clues, we just have to have them. Must have at least 2 clues in order to move to the edge of the universe. Investigators at the edge of the universe can't draw cards during the upkeep phase, that's fine. Advance. You reach an impossibly dense pitch-black void and realize that this place is where all of reality, all that is and all that ever will be, ends. In its center, you see a minuscule rift suspended just out of reach. When you peer through the terror, you are surprised to see the peak of Sentinel Hill. Somehow you've reached the other side of the rift. Now you must find a way to close it for good. Only investigators at the edge of the universe may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. We need 6 clues. Good to know. Okay. The unearthly stones on the ground are inscribed as some sort of seal. Approaching them causes a voice to enter your mind, speaking in an alien tongue. Choose a location discarded. Cool. So yeah, we need more clues. We need 4 more clues, but there are some at the edge of the universe, notably. So Rex can still investigate here if he wants to. He's currently 6 against 2. I threw a Disc of Insomnia for a will, I think. I didn't actually play it. Currently 6 against 2. We don't really need to... I just realized I passed. So, okay, so we were testing, what was it, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 2, and I have to redraw to Rex's Curse. And I can't draw the -2 because I have to reveal a second. Oh, no, yeah. Fuck. All right, so let's shuffle Rex's Curse back into the deck, and then we're going to try to make that investigation check again. 6 against 7, 8, 9 against. Okay, so that will resolve our 3 actions out of order, but we do correctly address Rex's Curse, which is the thing we needed to do. Interstellar Travelers still on me. Fuck. All of my ordering is incorrect. Let's have Nathaniel go first and hit this thing, which does have damage on it. Doesn't have a single bit of damage on it. Okay, Nathaniel. Everything's just kind of wrong, huh? I can't take the attacks of opportunity. I've already drawn all the cards and done the things. I could have Nathaniel take the damage from leaving it here. Ideally, so I don't think that we would be attacking the Interstellar Traveler at 7 against 4 3 times. I think we would draw a card. Okay, and then we'd engage this thing because we have Counterpunch, and then we'd attack at 7 against 4. Or actually, I think we draw another card here. Draw another card. That provokes an attack of opportunity. Counterpunch. 9 against 4. And if this succeeds, then we don't have to deal with anything else. So, in fact, instead of drawing a card, let's play Stand Together, which would give Rex 2 resources, but this is already so many different ways out of order. I'm just going to give Nathaniel the 2 resources. Okay, so yeah, punch, punch, punch. If this doesn't succeed, then I don't really know how I'm supposed to resolve it. So many mistakes. 9 against 4. Come on. Cool. Dead Interstellar Traveler, 3 damage. Okay. I forgot that was in my threat area. I thought it was in Nathaniel's because Nathaniel normally takes the monsters, but in that case, the monster dealt horror damage. So I think we still resolve that in a way where, yeah, Nathaniel would have attacked it first if I'd known it was there, and then Rex would have moved. It's just 100% out of order, so it's just like, ugh. But all of the tests do resolve the way they're supposed to, and we do the damage that we're supposed to do, and we make the decisions that we would have made over the course of that turn. I'm just going to have to live and let live with that. Don't love it. Enemy phase. Upkeep. Resource and a card. Resource and a card. Now, Nathaniel is nowhere near the edge of the universe, notably. Oh, come on, Rex. Try a little harder, please. All right. Cool. Mythos phase. The Doom goes to 1. And counter cards are dealt. Interstellar Traveler spawns in any extra dimensional location, and it has Hunter. This tier 3 space is discarded. I don't want them. Extra dimensional locations are a giant pain in my butt, and I don't want to deal with them. I think Nathaniel might actually go on a bridge tour. Just like, can you get from a bridge to anywhere else that's useful? Dimensional Doorway. Which, no, Dimensional Doorway does stay, so Nathaniel could take a bridge, toss it, and then come to the edge. Seems pretty reasonable. But this Interstellar Traveler's got to go somewhere, and then we got to kill it. If I leave it, take 2 horror, discard it. That's better than Endless Bridge in some ways. I would rather Endless Bridge stay out because the Indecipherable Stairs need to stay out so that I don't draw them again. Traveler, I think, goes to the Endless Bridge. Gets a Doom. And that's done. So Nathaniel's going to go beat that up with any luck. And Rex, Eldritch Court. Draw a card. Discard up to 2 cards. Not really fancying my evade chances anyways. Test 2 will. Fail, take 2 horror. Man, still not great, but 3 against 2. -1 succeeds. Return and draw another. -3 fails, so I take 2 horror. But that does shuffle Rex's Curse back into my deck, which I think is pretty useful for this round. Okay. Investigation phase. Well, I was hoping to get through this last one without making mistakes. Considering how messy this map is, it's just kind of hard to do. The Infinite Doorway's gone, I think. It was attached to something that got discarded, so... Haunting Recollections is back in the discard pile as well. Did I shuffle the discard pile? I think I was supposed to at some point. I don't remember if we put the location into play. I mean, if we didn't shuffle, then we definitely didn't. And who resolves it? The lead investigator. Cool. That was kind of good. There we go. Tear through space. So Nathaniel's here and not at the other location. And Surge is not a revelation ability, so that works out really well. Nathaniel, can you still go to an endless bridge through a tear through space? Yes, so this doesn't change things too much, thank goodness. Investigation phase. Nathaniel is going to walk away from the tear through space and into the endless bridge. This is going to get discarded at the end of the round. We'll remember that, I hope. Actually, Nathaniel is going to draw a card. He's going to draw another card. No, then he's going to play Greet Wagner. And then he's going to walk to the Endless Bridge. Perfect. We have dodge ready, so that's fine. Rex, on the other hand, is actually charged with doing stuff that's useful. We are currently 6 against 2 to investigate the edge of the universe, and that seems fine. Let's just give it a go. -1 succeeds by 2. We pick up 2 clues from the edge of the universe. That puts us at 5 clues total. Draw a card, gain a resource. Magnifying glass, beautiful. Pop that down. 7 against 2 to investigate the edge of the universe. Let's flashlight that. 7 against 0. I mean, it's really not a big deal if I fail or don't, so here we go. 7 against 2. Succeeds, and no cards or resources this time because we have to exhaust here. But we do get 1 more clue. That's 6 clues. Advance the act. You are utterly exhausted with no idea as to what can be done to close the rift. It is too distant to touch, and nothing you do has any effect. There is nothing here to guide you apart from the unearthly words that are seeping into your mind. Just then you hear a familiar voice with the echoing chorus and feel yourself compelled to repeat it. Claude ostium, you whisper at first, the words on the tip of your tongue. You close your eyes to concentrate, and the echo goes louder. When it ends and you open your eyes, you face nothing but an inky abyss, and the terror has vanished. Remove the edge of the universe from the game, put the set-aside tear through time location into play. Okay. Do I go to the... Oh, God. Spend 2 clues, resign. You find a new path and hope that it leads back to safety. It is connected in the same way the edge of the universe is. I should have grabbed the last clue off this location. Rex moves off the edge of the universe to Realms Beyond. Oh, which, shoot, we weren't paying attention to that earlier. I think I needed to make a will test at some point to move out of it. Well, I mean, we're sitting here with Yog-Sothoth now. And this is connected to that. Yeah, I think we disapparated to that same location 1 more time. And that is an extra move to get out of, and also Yog-Sothoth can attack us, which is going to happen to Rex right now. So Rex, you are on your last action. So you have to test will or speed, and you have to succeed. Let's go speed. Let's spend all of our resources to make sure it's a 9 against 3. -X, where X is twice the shroud value of your location. That is fucking 18? Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's Rex's last test, so it's fine. Yog-Sothoth attacks us during the enemy phase. Enemy phase. Yog-Sothoth attacks us. Can't be evaded, make attacks of opportunity. When it attacks you, instead of taking up to X horror, you may discard the top X cards from your deck. And if you have no cards in your deck, you are driven insane. Cool. Yog-Sothoth attacks us. We take a damage. And we discard the top 5 cards of our deck, I think. Cool. But now I gotta get out of the Realms Beyond. How many of my clues are spent? I think I spent 6 clues, which is all the clues I had. Cool. Goodbye, clues. Farewell forever. Nathaniel, have you done everything you're supposed to do? Yes. Enemy phase. Dodge that, so this attack doesn't go through. Upkeep. Resource and a card. Safeguard. Little too late, but it's fine. Deduction. Awesome. I mean, not awesome here because we still need to get out of this location, and this is just like a huge mess, but does this thing have attacks of opportunity? No, it doesn't. So, all right, that's fine. Mythos. Doom goes to 2. Encounter cards. Tear through space. Put tear through space into play. At the end of the round, I place a doom on it. Okay, and we are just discarding tear through spaces every time we see them, so this one's in play. It's got a single clue on it, which is actually relative because we need 2 clues on each character to resign, and Nathaniel's going to need to get those from other places. I have Greet Wagner down. That's great. That actually does make a huge difference. Cool. Yeah. Neat. Well, the dimensional doorway is here, which is good. We can put dooms on tear through spaces or extra dimensional endless bridges, which are currently connected to each other in weird ways. Okay. Encounter cards. Wait. Nathaniel drew a tear through space off the encounter. Interstellar Traveler spawns at any extra dimensional location. We want it here. When it enters a location, you flip a clue to its doom side. I don't think we want it here. I think we want it somewhere else. Dimensional doorway? Anywhere with actual clues would be good. Endless bridge would be good, because we can move. So the enemy phase that's going to get 2 doom. We'll have killed this one. It's not the end of the world if it's in an end. Okay. Tear through time is connected to the another dimension, notably. So this thing can kind of move to us that way. Daniel's got 12 cards left. I think I want it on the Endless Bridge, because that's a location with 2 clues on it. And ideally it's a location that we can move to and mess up. This is just such a mess. Yeah, this is right. I think Nathaniel's going to kill this and not even move to the tear through space, but it's a doom if that happens, though. Okay, everything's bad. Everything's bad. Encounter cards. Oh. All right. Cool. That's mostly fine. We still need 2 clues. The unstable vortex is a safe way to the tear through time. Not that safe, but... we can get a pile of clues. Pretty easily. Okay. Investigation phase. Rex, you first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go out of here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 3 to succeed. Can't boost it in any other ways. It's just 7 against 3. Let's go. -1 succeeds. Scoop. Okay, that's action 1. You don't want to get shunted through the tear through time. That would be very bad. This thing's going to another dimension, notably. Oh, wait, no, it's not. 3 doom? I think you need to engage it. Otherwise, it moves to the tear through space. And if it moves to the tear through space, we either have to put a doom on the tear through space or discard it. And once we discard it, it'll go to the another dimension and it'll get another doom. So your second action is to move here. And your third action, I think, is to just try to evade 3 against something. 3 against 2. Nope. Okay, that's going to be a hit, but it's not going to be the end of the world. It's going to be pretty close, though. Nathaniel, hi. You need to kill some things, and you need to do it pretty quickly, actually, because this thing is just, like, really a problem. You got a safeguard, which is not helpful. You draw a card, you'll take an attack, but you'll have an opportunity to do something better than just attack 8 against 4 3 times. On the other hand, attacking 8 against 4 3 times doesn't feel that bad either. Randall would get me a weapon. That's not going to be helpful. He does soak some damage, but that's, yeah, that's pretty pointless. I think I paid for Greep, so I don't have any resources left. Sounds right. I mean, the agenda is not what kills us. It does give us, I think, a big monster, but what kills us here is just, like, being stuck on these bridges and, like, being in trouble. I think we just have to start punching. 8 against 2. Success. 8 against 4. It's 8 against 4. Ooh, that's not a good one. Reveal another token. After this, discard cards from the top and counterattack and location is discarded. Oh, that's actually a good one, yeah. Skull is bad, though. -1 for each extra dimensional location in play, which is a lot. So, yeah, discard. Tear through space. Okay, that's sort of fine. Well, no, it's not, because this Interstellar Traveler gets a Doom. And does it eat this clue, too? That's really annoying. Does it already have to? What's going on here? Alright, 2 Doom. Well, now Rex's whole engage the Interstellar Traveler thing was clearly a bad idea. I did deal 1 damage to it, so that's nice. Heavens. 8 against 4. -1 succeeds. Deal a damage to this stupid garbage monster. Okay. A bad enemy phase. 2 and 1. 2 and 1 to you two. I think you can afford to get 1 on Greet, 1 on you. And definitely take the damage yourself, because Greet's got to soak as much as possible. Notably, can Nathaniel actually move and do something with this? Yes, but the problem is that anywhere we move, we're going to be soaking just random nonsense. Okay. End of the phase. I believe we put a Doom on everything. Because why the heck not? The Doom advances. There's 3 Doom on these, so this definitely flips. Move Yog-Sothoth to the edge of the universe or another dimension if the edge of the universe is not in play. Remove Realms Beyond from the game and advance to Agenda 4A. Ignore the text on Realms Beyond while resolving this ability. So Realms Beyond is gone. Yog-Sothoth goes to the edge of the universe, which... another dimension, correct? Yeah, cool. All of the Doom in play is removed. And did we do upkeep? I don't think we did. Nope, still got Safeguard in hand, so. Not good. Needed a event so that we could not die. But it's fine. Dark Horse, that's actually quite nice. Okay. So Yog-Sothoth kills Rex if it moves onto him, notably. Kills Nathaniel too, probably. No, Nathaniel can actually hold with it for at least one turn. So if we just like go to Nathan, yeah, that could work. It's kind of meh. We could also just go fight him. How much health does he have? 6 for 16. That's a bit much, I would say. Okay. Cool. So that was Mythos encounters. Prismatic Cascade is put into play. Discard a random card from your hand. Nathaniel. Physical training it is. That actually would have been a really good card to be playing, but it's okay. You. Towering Luminosity. Either place a Doom on it or take 2 damage. We can't take 2 damage, so I guess it gets a Doom. What does this connect to? Diamond. Diamonds connect to another dimension, so that's something. They also connect to squares, which are tears through space, and they connect to the double, which is the unstable vortex. Okay. Not much I can do with that yet, but that is actually really notable because Nathaniel can drag something to here and then murder it for points, so... But we have a huge problem, which is that Rex is just, like, in a very bad spot with his Interstellar Traveler. It's in his threat area, and it will kill him. And there's not much I can do about it at the moment. I think we have to start with Nathaniel. Investigation phase. Nathaniel punches 5, 6, 7, 8 against this thing. Could throw Randall Cho at it. It's a 9. Pretty bad use of Randall Cho. Maybe go for the 9. Are we 8 against 4? Yeah, 8 against 4 is good enough. Bless. Oh, bless. Okay, that's really, really good. There are a couple of different things we can take here. I like Counterpunch. We killed this thing. We search the top 9 for a spirit card with boxing gloves. One, 2 punch. How much damage is that? 5? Automatically succeed and deal +1 damage. It's 5. How much damage did I just draw? 5, 6, 7, 8 against 16. But next thing to do is move to the Endless Bridge. Because we got a friend here that needs to be dealt with. I think I gotta counterpunch it. Yog-Sothoth will move to us if that happens. Nathaniel might just be fighting Yog-Sothoth anyways. If I 1-2 punch, I can safeguard. Does that work? Hang on a sec. If Rex goes somewhere that I can safeguard too, oh, that doesn't work then. Wait, it might. Hang on a sec. Safeguard is... After another investigator moves from your location to a connecting location, exhaust safeguard to move to that location. So this works. That is so weird. But it only works if we actually have the resources, which we don't. So Yeah, I think I just have to engage the thing on Rex, because Rex needs to try to get out of here and get clues. Notably, there's still no clues on another dimension. If I drop Rex onto Yog-Sothoth, that's extremely bad. Yeah, engage this monster. That's the only thing I can do. That'll actually help. Rex, is there any way that we can actually do anything with your turn that's going to be helpful to Nathaniel? I don't think there is. I think Nathaniel's just going to have 5 cards for a bit. And have no possible way to get good stuff. Okay, this is the end of all things. Yog-Sothoth is likely going to attack us every time that we get Doom on a location. After you're moved to a location by an encounter card effect, take a horror. It's just still a thing. Okay. Rex. You only need 2 clues to get out, and if you get out, then Nathaniel can, like, spend his time punching Yog-Sothoth or something like that. I need more dodges. But if you move off of the Endless Bridge, you can go to the Dimensional Doorway, which doesn't help. But you can go from the Dimensional Doorway to the Tear Through Time. 1, 2, like that. That's pretty real, actually. And then from there, you investigate with deduction. It would be nice to leave clues for Nathaniel. But I don't think we're here to be nice anymore. Yeah. Investigate with deduction. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, wait. Okay, no. Wait. You're currently 4, 5, 6, 7 against 2. 8, 9 with from deduction. And when you move to the Endless Bridge, Nathaniel pops out of here and goes to here. And the stupid monster on Nathaniel gets a Doom. Really hate the Interstellar Traveler. Just that card really screwed us up this round. Okay. There's only 4 clues on Tear Through Time. So we are currently investigating just a stupid amount against a stupid amount. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Might as well spend all of it. Unless there's a reason we might want it for I've Got a Plan. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 2. How many extra dimensional are in play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8. And we're 9 against 2. 10 against 2. -1 succeeds by 4 or more. Rex scoops every single clue on the Tear Through Time. Just a greedy thing to do. And now there's one more thing, which is, oh, we actually can't pop off of the Tear Through Time because it's an otherworld location. So Rex is good there. But Nathaniel can't spend clues he doesn't have, so I think he's stuck fighting Yog-Sothoth. Okay. Investigation enemy phase. Enemy phase, this thing attacks Nathaniel. Nathaniel counterpunches. So that is 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against 4. That's amazing, actually. Okay, the cultist reveals a second token. It's a -2, so we successfully counterpunch the monster before it attacks us, dealing 3 damage to it and killing it. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, this is actually amazing. Then, Nathaniel has to reveal, due to the cultist icon, the top cards of the encounter deck. 1, Nope. Until a location is discarded. 2, 3, 4. Nope. 5. What is that? Steps of you. Oh, wow. That's a pretty close location to where we want to be, even. Steps of Hagel. They have 2 clues on them, and they go here, or close to. Now I have to check to see if enemy attacks are all resolved simultaneously, because my attack against an enemy or enemy phase, each engaged enemy attacks if able. Do those attacks resolve at the same time? You know, it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and Grim Rule it. We have to take a damage. And we have to discard the top 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you kidding me, Tommy Malloy? Okay, Nathaniel gets shunted from there to here. And after that test is resolved, there's another timing thing that I do have to check. After this skill test, after you defeat an enemy. So after the skill test, we move to there. We kill the monster. And then after we defeat the enemy, we put a damage on Rewinder. Which gets me a clue. Okay, Nathaniel now has 1 remaining job, which is to investigate a 2 against 3 location. But notably, we are in upkeep, resource and a card. Leadership, that's going to be helpful. Resource and a card. I've got a plan, that's not going to be helpful at all. Mythos phase. The doom goes to 1. At the end, we do discard Tear Through Time here. There's no monster with doom on it. Does this have doom on it? No, we didn't put it into play before we flipped the agenda, so it no longer has doom on it. Anything else? There's a Tear Through space here that needs to go away. The endless bridges are gone already. Somehow this endless bridge stayed. I don't really know how that is. It doesn't even have... Wait, no, Nathaniel left this bridge, right? Because he was on this bridge with another guy, and then he got shunted again. Or he moved off of this location, so this bridge is gone too. So space is looking a little bit weirder at this point, but this is what's left in play. Okay. So that's Mythos, and I don't believe the Doom advances to 2. I'm pretty sure we don't have any Doom in play. You are, if you're at Dimensional Doorway, spend 2 resources. No. If you're at Unstable Vortex, no. Leave the stairs. We never went onto the stairs. And Towering Luminosity, yeah, we didn't get anything off that. So yeah, we're fine there. Encounters. Haunting Recollections. Ooh, that's going to hurt a little bit. We're probably going to take some horror here, which can kill us. It can kill Greet, which is almost as good as killing us. Okay. So for each card in our hand, if there's a copy of that card in our discard pile, we can safely assume no Randall, Safeguard, Leadership, and 1-2 Punch. I believe 1-2 Punch we do have a copy of. I don't know about Safeguard or Leadership. Leadership, yes. 1-2 Punch, yes. And I believe it's names, so it does count. So that's 2 horror. Now here's the question, is there a Safeguard? If there's a Safeguard, we are in trouble, but it looks like we are safe. 2 horror. Woo! And that means we don't discard cards, which is also important. Visions of Future Past, test 5 will, for each point you feel. Oh, shit. After all this, is it going to be Rex who dies? I cannot get Will. Discarded Dark Horse, that's 4 against 5. Rex has to pass this or he explodes. It is all down to this. Rex can resign, but only if he passes this will test, which is currently a 4 against 5. He needs to succeed by 0, basically, or he needs to fail by 1. Here it goes. Discard the top 1 card of my deck. And we do remember this time that if we empty our deck, that's Beyond the Veil. Investigator phase. Rex resigns. Bye. We're gone. See you later. Nathaniel. Nathaniel, what do we do with you? Oh, enemy phase. Yogg-Sothoth did attack us, so it didn't actually move towards us, notably. Okay, Nathaniel. I can't draw enough cards to survive. Tommy Malloy is not in our decks. We can't kill him for resources. So this is another 3-action turn where it's all dependent on one skill test. I just have to pass this, and I have to pass it, and it's a bad test. If Nathaniel doesn't make this, I believe the agenda flips, and Yogg-Sothoth kills him. Could I survive a hit from Yogg-Sothoth if I played Randall Cho? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 5th is that. So no, I can't. I cannot survive a hit from Yogg-Sothoth under any circumstances. Because either I take 5 horror or I discard all of my cards and die. So it's just this. Nathaniel has to do a regular investigate action. Oh, wait. No, there's one actually other thing that... Okay, that's good. That's good. When Rex resigns, he spends 2 clues, but he has 4 clues. And when he's resigned, he's removed from his location, so he drops 2 clues on the Tear Through Time, which means Nathaniel gets to move here first. And then we get to make that test. It's still not good, but it is 2 against 2, 3, 4 against 2, 5 against 2. And that's it. If we don't make this, Nathaniel dies and Rex lives. Which is a surprising mirroring of the last time, but somehow it came down to this. I don't... All right. One last roll to save the life. Nathaniel, go. R.I.P., buddy. I had 3 against. Draw a card. Not helpful. Enemy face. Yogg-Sothoth walks 1 closer to us. Does this connect to these? No. Upkeep. Resource and a card. Don't think that helps. All right. Let's see what this is. I'm pretty sure that we are in trouble. The end of all things. Seeking the rift from which you entered this dimension, the extra-dimensional horror lashes out, crushing entire realms within its grasp. In player order, Yogg-Sothoth attacks each investigator in play, regardless of its current location. Then flip this agenda back to its A side. So we can either be immediately driven insane, or we can be defeated and take a mental trauma. I believe either one is the end of Nathaniel. In fact, like, if a mental trauma would cause Nathaniel to somehow survive, I don't think that's actually possible in this scenario. I would still prefer that he be considered dead for the purposes of Draft and Die, just because he died in the final campaign, and he didn't get out of the space. So, yeah, discard the top 2. Beyond the Veil kills us. We go insane. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. You discover a path that looks somewhat familiar and follow it. Even though your task is now complete, you now understand that in closing the tear, you may never make it home. The fear of being lost here forever spurs you onwards through an archway leading into an overgrown corridor. A damp wooden door leads you out into a pocket of thin rain and dark sky. Cement turns to gravel, then marble. then steel, then grass. You cross impossibly long meadows and make your way through dense woods before fatigue finally sets in. Drained of all energy, you cannot go on any further. Your body gives out. Lying on your back in a patch of wet grass, you find yourself staring longingly at the night sky. Somehow you are once again atop Sentinel Hill, unable to recall exactly how you got here. You are mesmerized by the night sky. Seconds become minutes, and minutes become hours. Eventually you are found and lifted to your feet by a group of Dunwich citizens. What happened? What are you doing here? They ask you, frightened but curious. You can't seem to find the right words to describe the events that occurred beyond the gate, if they ever truly occurred. There doesn't appear to be any trace of Seth Bishop, of the creatures you fought earlier, or of the phantasmal and otherworldly gate. But every time you sleep, you dream, and when you dream, it all comes rushing back. In your campaign log, record that the investigators closed the tear in reality. Each investigator suffers 2 physical trauma and 2 mental trauma, as he or she never fully recovers from his or her time spent outside the realm of reality. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. Each investigator earns 5 bonus experience, as he or she has saved the world from being torn apart. And the investigators win the campaign. Nathaniel is lost in time and space. And Rex Murphy moves to the retired slot, one of 2 surviving members of our little crew. That was a fine ending. A noble sacrifice from Nathaniel, getting all of the monsters off of Rex so that he could proceed. I really wanted to fight Yog-Sothoth, but we didn't have the necessary tools, and he flipped a little early due to the interstellar travelers causing some issues. We made a few mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes, I think, over the course of this round, over the course of the whole draft and die. I hope that we resolved them all in a way that was satisfactory to you folks watching on YouTube. I definitely don't like making as many play errors, but this is a game that is generally played co-op, and I think that it helps to have other people sort of watching what you're doing and just noticing when you do a thing that's wrong, because otherwise you'll catch it a turn later. But I think that we managed to get to the resolution that was appropriate as far as things go. Didn't get a huge amount of experience, earned an awful lot of physical and mental trauma for Rex Murphy. And Nathaniel, quite insane. That is nonsense. Yog-Sothoth remains living. One of these days we'll get him in a draft and die or in any other sort of option. I've yet to kill an Elder God, and I think that kind of feels still pretty Arkham-y to me. I think this game has really sort of captured... This mode has really sort of captured what Arkham horror feels like. I think that the eldritch horror aspect of it has really been maintained as a result of this permanent death. So, we have 2 seekers with significant amounts of physical and mental trauma, but a lot of experience. Maybe someday we'll put them in a side scenario, I think is where we want to do with that, and see if they live through those. But beyond that, I think I'm happy with that resolution. Happy enough to move on to the next one. Currently, we're between Carcosa and Dream Eaters, and it's possible we could do Circle as well, but I think Carcosa would probably be the appropriate one. Path to Carcosa is notable for having one of the hardest first missions. I don't think it kills you if you fail it, so but it is an interesting one and probably a fun one. So I think we'll probably go Carcosa next between the 2. Yeah. Weigh in in the comments with what you think. I think we'll be playing a bunch of other games too, so it's possible that we will not be recording the next round by the time that happens. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been a real experience, and it's been really just a ton of fun. As always, our goals at this point are to make less mistakes, to survive where we can, and to die where we can't. I think I'm very happy with how brutal this campaign has been so far, and as a full complete of Arkham, it's looking like it might have the potential to succeed, but we are going to be scraping by, and we're going to be adding a lot of people to the pile in the meantime. But who knows? The Forgotten Age still looms. The Path to Carcosa is a notably tricky one, but with a lot of really good stuff in it. And there are campaigns here I haven't played, including the Innsmouth Conspiracy and the Edge of the Earth. So we'll see how it goes. Until that one, 3 cheers for Nathaniel, F's in chat, and congratulations to Rex Murphy for surviving. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.